Hello everyone, let us discuss about experimental science projects. Moving ahead, let us first see what is a science project. A science project is an educational activity for students who are involving in experiments or construction of models in one of the science disciplines. Now, what are the concerns associated with science projects? What kind of a project is required basically? So experimental type projects that use scientific method which is testable. Okay, and the projects which are not allowed are research projects, like what is a hurricane. These do not involve testing, so it needs to be something testable. Now, why are we talking about experiments all of a sudden, and why only experiments? So to find the answers to our questions or problems, we need to conduct experiments. Now, there is a lot of sometimes confusion associated with the terms like experiment and demonstration. So this difference will help us understand how exactly they are different from each other. So when we talk about an experiment, it is a test or a trial done for the purpose of discovering something unknown or validating a theoretical principle. But a demonstration is an explanation of a process that is illustrated through an example which serves as a proof or evidence of the scientific principles at work. So here we are just testing whether it works or not, but in demonstration it is already tested. We are just explaining a process through a demonstration. Now experiments always follow a pattern of discovery known as scientific method, whereas a demonstration allows a student to see the principles of science. Then experiments, here the student is a driving force behind this type of scientific test, because you have a lot of experimentation and testing that is involved. And in demonstration, the teacher is a driving force behind this type of scientific test, because the teacher is trying to explain it to them, the scientific principles using a demonstration. Now there are science project categories, for example physical, wherein the projects related to the physical sciences such as physics, chemistry and astronomy that deal primarily with non-living materials. Biological, wherein the projects that deal with the vital processes of living organisms and how these processes are affected as a result of manipulating a variable. Here, no animals may be harmed because since it is not allowed. Environmental, where the projects that deal with humans' relationship with the earth and humans' effect on the earth. These are some of the examples of science projects: working water, potato battery, baking soda and vinegar. Sorry, the picture can't be displayed due to an error. But you can always search through how baking soda and vinegar could be used to cause volcano. Now, what is the role of science projects, or in typical way we could say experimental science projects in education? First one is that it allows students to understand and practice the scientific method on any topic they are interested in. They learn the scientific method through practice. And learning science through projects not only teaches academic content, but also social and emotional skills such as problem solving and resilience. It promotes the development of scientific thinking in students, and it allows students to question, probe answers, investigate nature of scientific learning. It also promotes discovery and learning, as it allows students to discover new ideas and concepts during their search for the knowledge. It also plays an important role in intellectual development of students. And for teachers, it benefits in a way that science projects helps the teachers to make their teaching effective and creative, because a lot of excitement is involved when a student is testing or trying to find out something which is interesting. It helps teachers of science to create an environment in which they and students work together as active learners. Teachers also expand their knowledge about science teaching through the experiments. And the experiments or projects help the teachers to improve their laboratory skills, because they get more time to do hands-on experiments. Few more advantages include the only means by which cause and effect can be established are experimental science projects. Experimental projects designs are repeatable, and therefore results can be checked and verified every now and then when it is performed. Learning by doing increases the student's ability to think critically. It teaches the students to rely more on evidence, that is, observable data or observed data. It encourages to think independently, increases students' motivation to learn and enhance their perception, creativity, and logic, and experiments can be replicated. Few more. Science experiments encourage curiosity and many questions, develops inquisitive mind. Students have the opportunity to develop their observational skills, identify changes and differences, such as changes in matter, for example, melting ice cube is an experiment. Problem solving. For example, how will we melt the ice? Will we leave it in a room, cook it in a pan, or leave it in the sun? Hands-on projects engage kids who are tactile or kinesthetic learners as they learn best through the experiments. Now let us have some look at the disadvantages of it, which includes sometimes the experimental situation may not relate to the real world because sometimes experiments are carried out in a very extreme condition which are very rare to find. It is a bit expensive because a lot of material is involved. Sometimes certain ethical limitations are also associated. Then hands-on learning would be more effective if it was combined with traditional learning from books, although it is very good at providing foundation for knowledge and understanding in some cases, but in some cases it fails to develop ideas to a higher level. Here the results are highly subjective due to the possibility of human error. It is a time-consuming process because a lot of manual work is involved, and students can be influenced by their current situation. There could be something in the environment such as an allergy that creates a distraction in the experiment and that can affect the way the experiment works. So these are some of the references for this given topic. Thank you. And if you have any queries related to this topic, please feel free to type it in the chat box. Thank you.